Okay, yeah.
We got a lot
So
to get to.
yeah, we do. So this game, I don't think there's a lot to talk about. It's We're going to talk about Boston, Atlanta. If the Nets are the worst team in the playoffs, Atlanta might be the next worst team in the playoffs. Maybe the Timberwolves, but I think the Timberwolves have a little bit more single game upside than either one of those teams. Boston won 112 to 99. The final score obscures the fact that Boston absolutely had this game in control from basically the first minute, and they had a big lead, kind of played with their food and let the Hawks get back in the game, but then, took care of business. I don't think there's much to talk about in this. Like,
They're up 30 at the half. It was 74 to 44. I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
first three possessions, I tweeted the Celtics are winning by 20. I didn't end up being right, but I ended up being right. I just saw the way they came out, and like I think the game was either tied or like the Hawks actually might have even had the lead because they hit like their first few like jumpers. But I just saw like how they were like Celtics were jumping out after the ball, how the offense was working, how it was like, just that relentless machine that when they're clicking on offense, it's like the spot up shooting, the ball movement, the drive, the kick. Like I was like, okay, like they came to play, and the Hawks just don't have the guys to deal with it. And that's kind of how it ended up. But like, this series should be a sweep. Like, if you're the Celtics and you don't get a sweep here, like you have to be incredibly disappointed. And it's a missed opportunity with the Bucks losing their first game.
Agreed. Strongly agreed. Yeah. To me, this is a funny series because it's a very stark contrast between the team that I think is like perfectly built and assembled. The Celtics, like they have an 8-man rotation of pretty much like playoff proof quality guys, like two-way players. They've got enough shot creation. They've got enough playmaking. They've got defense on the interior and on the perimeter. Like such a complete, indestructible sort of team. The Hawks, really bad roster construction, in my opinion. I didn't like Young and Murray from the start. I was right. Murray's not an off-ball player. Doesn't do anything when Young has the ball. Young doesn't do anything when he doesn't have the ball. I just don't like this team. I think they have to make a big trade this summer. You're right. There's not that much more to say about it. I think there's a pretty good likelihood of a sweep here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just what like one team is significantly better and one team is significantly worse. And, that's how these things shake out. Like, honestly, if you're the Bucks, you've got to be real fucking pissed that Miami dropped the ball in the 7-8 game. And so
Yeah.
they get Miami instead of the Hawks because, even with the Giannis injury, I think the Bucks take care of business against the Hawks. All right.
I would be inclined to agree. I would think so. If nothing else, just more for like again, the cohesion and the chemistry that these guys have, and like the fit is still there. Obviously, you're missing Giannis, but like the Bucks are still a pretty well assembled team without him. Better two-way players. The Hawks certainly have a chance of beating the Bucks without Giannis, but I probably would put my money on the Bucks as well.
Yeah, I think one thing we should note is like as you always have to basically in single game situations is look, Atlanta's not going to go 5 of 29 from 3-point range, but also if you watched the way the Celtics were defending, it wasn't just one of those they like, they missed their shots. It's like the Celtics were making it hard to hit shots in a way that I think is more sustainable. Like they're not going to hold them under 20% every game. But if they
Well,
hold them,
everyone in Boston's rotation has good defensive value. Like literally every player in their rotation has defensive value, and so like they're just covered from all areas. It's so much easier to aggressively close out threes when the back line is solid and the point of attack is solid. Like, yeah, man, Boston are really well built. Good
yeah,
team.
okay, if they need to win this series in four, all right.